Hey there, it's Stephanie Shea, Chief Astrologer at janspiller.com, and I'm here with a special video about an astrological calendar slash journal slash almanac. It's really unique. It's not your typical calendar that you think of that astrologers use that's got all those crazy technical symbols and professional astrologers love those because we want to just dive in and grab that info. But this is something that's a bit more friendly to the novice and to people who want to use it more in a journal exploration kind of way. And I don't usually talk about products on this channel. I'm an astrologer, but this ties in with what I'm doing, and I thought it might be of use to some of you viewers out there. And this is called the Dreamfruit Almanac, and this has been created by Elizabeth Russell, who is someone that I collaborate with every year. We get together and we talk about the astrology of the new year. That's my piece. And then Elizabeth does a lot of creative facilitating, mostly through some writing prompts and ways to get people to consider the astrological information that I've just given and integrate it on a more personal level. And this tends to be a winning formula for people. So they spend some of the time in their right brain getting the data that I provide, and some of the time in their left brain so that their whole brain can assimilate the information. And Elizabeth just started doing this calendar a few years ago, and it's really lovely. So there was one last year, and I feel like she's taken this one to the next level. And what it is a lunar calendar. So I'll show you the inside in a minute. It starts on the new moon, and the columns show the phases of the moon. I'll get to that in a minute, but I just wanted to show you how beautiful the cover is and that the binding is so nice. I really like the spiral bind because you can just flip it open. And if you're using it as a journal, you can fold it back easily. The paper is really nice quality. And when you get to the beginning, she's really good about telling you, let's see if I can, there we go, how to use the book, showing you a diagram of the pages, what's going to work well. And this one is based on 13 lunar cycles of 2021. And what's kind of cool is each moon cycle has a dream, it has an ally, and it has what's called From the Weave, which is sort of a inspirational poem that can help you to ponder some of the themes coming up. And I have to tell you, the 2021 last year, the themes just seemed so spot on to what was going on in the world. And she's getting a lot of this information through Sabian symbols. If you follow any of that, if you don't know what that is, don't worry, but it's just a branch that works with astrology, putting symbolism to some of the exact degrees. And so she's putting that on there. It's a really interesting way to work with the astrology of the year. So let's take a look at the calendar piece. I think a lot of people are going to be very interested in that. So let's see where that went. Oh, and I'll show you this picture, which is also quite cool. If you want to see a diagram of the year ahead, I just saw that page. This is pretty sweet. So this kind of shows some of the planetary movements. This was done by a local Portland astrologer, Melanie Gurley. And I should mention too that Elizabeth was a Portlander. She's a Eugene resident now, but when she was here, she had B space. So if anyone here lived in Portland, they may know of Elizabeth from that. Let's see. Let's find that moon page that we are looking for. Okay, so for example, when you get to the calendar part, we will open it up to where it starts in December, because remember, this is lunar. So we've got the December eclipse on the 14th. That's kicking off the cycle. That's going to be the first day. Then you use it as a calendar. You can see the phases that the moons are going through. And there's room to write in things for yourself. It indicates things like the winter solstice, Jupiter moving into Aquarius, Mercury moving into Capricorn. So it's using words instead of symbols, which is probably good because some people don't know those symbols. You don't have to know a whole other language to use this. It's very much for the layperson, but I think astrologers will really enjoy it as well. It's very interactive, so there's space in here for notes. That's something else I appreciate a lot. You can kind of see that. And there's questions here that could be prompts if you want to use those to help you with your reflections. For example, what mark have you placed on another or yourself, and is it time to remove it? Or write the eulogy for a forgotten species. So those are just things to get you started, but they're not necessarily anything that you have to do. That's what I like about this. It kind of lets you be creative. And there's 13 dreams that go with each new moon. And what's kind of cool is when you don't have this with you, which is, it's bigger. There's this handy little book that just has the dreams, which are kind of like a meditation for each new moon. And they can really help you to have it with you when you're somewhere and you want to sit quietly and you don't have to carry the whole Dreamfruit with you. So here's the little dreams. And some people, I think this is sold separately too. So some people just order that. But I like some of these, just the one phrase, adjust your perspective. And then it gives you the dream, which is just a little one-page thing to ponder. So there's that option. It's just really good to ground you into the monthly ritual of the moon cycles. And it's definitely a good way to engage with other people too. Elizabeth does some groups with people who use this almanac and they compare how they've been using it. Another really fun thing you can do with it are play with the cards. So it comes with these little cards in the back that it's perforated and you can cut out and then use it like a little deck and pull one, and it'll say something like, what ideas have overstayed their welcome? Or what hidden ancestral gifts do you carry? And so just like you would use any other kind of oracle deck, just pull a card for the day that gives you something to think about. So I think that's one of my favorite pieces, is how interactive it is. But I really love that it really grounds you into those moon cycles as well. So I think I would recommend this to both astrologers and non-astrologers, because you're going to get a lot out of it and you can kind of get out of your head. It can make you aware of the moon cycles and even of some of the astrology, like, oh yeah, that it is the day that Mercury is stationing retrograde. But what it can really do for you is get you to set aside time to play with it and to contemplate. And it's really practical because you can use it as a day planner. So I love things that are both mystical, fun, and practical. So I hope that this might come in handy for you, a Dreamfruit planner. And as you think towards 2021 and you're looking for your tools to get yourself organized, keep that in mind. Thank you so much, and I will see you here next time with some astrological information.